One of the things I think I should mention is that the main thing that enticed me to switch to PC gaming is emulators. You see, I'm very much a retro gamer, but if you followed my Twitch and seen my Let's Plays, you would already know that. So when I heard that you were able to play any old game on PC for free, it sounded like a dream come true. Ignoring the stuff about it being right or wrong to use them, I'm going to take you back and tell you my history with emulators. My first encounter with unofficial emulation is when we were visiting our relatives and my cousin showed us his PSP, with Super Mario World ROM hacks on it. And by now, most of you should know that the only way you can get that to work on a PSP is to hack it. Anyway, not much to say here except that I played some of his ROM hacks. I just wanted to bring it up because it is my earliest memory of playing on an emulator. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be a while until I discovered more about emulators. As you know, I didn't have the internet, and also I didn't understand what they were, so therefore, I couldn't do the research on them when I had the chance to. And from what I can remember, it wouldn't be until years and years down the road where I would have another experience with emulators. I discovered a website you can play games from a list of ROMs they had. No, it wasn't Viz, it was the smartass.info. I think I already mentioned this from my Viz video, but I'm going to give a quick rundown of what it was. It was a site where you could play NES games and Genesis games without downloading anything. They didn't have everything. There was only so much they could do with just having a browser, giving them limited options to emulate games on the site. Hence why Viz has a plug-in requirement. It can play up to PS1 and GBA games. It can't run PS1 games that well, at least what I played, but it is a million times more advanced than what the smartest info was. It later added Game Boy Color, SNES, Atari 2600, and Sega Master System games. But that's where I will end it for the smartass info. Talking about it more in depth will be a video on its own. So I would be playing on this site until well into my high school days. Of course, the teacher did not appreciate me playing games on the computer lab, saying it took up bandwidth, which is bullshit because there's barely anyone in there. But moving on, I told my brother about this and he said, "Oh yeah, emulators, let me show you and your friend how to download them." Then he proceeded to download a bunch of ROMs on my friend's computer, which his mother would delete later because she did not understand what they were. Fast forward to when I was at a public library computer, where I would attempt to download such things. You have to remember that I had no idea what I was doing at the time. There were sessions where I would download just the emulator, open it up and see that there were no games, and other sessions where I would download something like Crash Bandicoot 3 download, and it would take me to a site with ROM. I would try to open the ROM on its own, and of course, nothing would happen. This is an extreme case of me just not being able to put two and two together. I could not realize for the life of me that I'm supposed to use the emulator to open a file. Again, it would be a while before I would encounter more emulation. I met my friend TableFlipper20 and he showed me a website called Viz.com, which I've already done a video about. And this was around the same time I decided to do a Let's Play of Pokemon Ash Gray. And it wouldn't be until I get this PC where I figured out how to actually use emulator. When I booted up Crash Bandicoot 3, it felt glorious. As you know, many of my old Let's Plays were recorded on Viz, but now I actually play on a downloaded emulator. I have more options to me that way. I'm sorry if you were asking for something else besides a history on me and emulators. You're probably expecting more of an opinion. What I will say though is that I'm okay with playing on an emulator, alright? I'm not hurting anybody's market by playing old retro game. Many people say to me, "Oh, it is much more appropriate to buy the fucking original system and then just play it that way." And it's like, I like the convenience of playing it all on one system. So you're telling me to go buy a GameCube, NES, SNES, Genesis, even though I already have a Genesis, and all these systems just to play some games I want to play. Do you not see how much of a money waster that is for me if all I want to do is just play games? I'm not that kind of collector when it comes to it. I'm just not that kind of collector. So if we're putting emulation, downloading ROMs on the same level as playing it, wouldn't downloading the ROMs be better because you don't spend any money? Simple as that. And you make the argument, "Oh, the developers aren't getting the money though," and it's just like, a lot of these companies aren't around anymore. They simply do not exist in this day and age. They can't make money from it if they don't exist, if they're out of business. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say, so thanks guys for watching this. You probably were expecting a little more, but I will see you next time. Take care.